All right, hello everybody. I'm Flippity Flam, and I'll be doing Luigi's Mansion 100% for you. Apparently the first 3D game. If not, we're going 3D now. We're bringing it into the next era. So I'll just give a countdown of 3, 2, 1, go, because this is a little bit of a longer run. And let's just get it started. So 3, 2, 1, go. Right, what is 3D? So this is Luigi's Mansion. This was the first game that I ever ran, and it's my marathon go-to. Luigi, the infinitely better brother, taller, handsomer, bigger nose, won this mansion in a contest he didn't enter, and now we've got to clean it out of all the ghosts in here. The 100% category basically means we need to get all the portrait ghosts, we need to get all the booze, and we need to have 100 million money at the end. So we're going to be doing a lot of multitasking in every single room. Collect some coins, we're going to hope for more money there. Now there's a gold bar in here, awesome. Oh yeah. So one thing that I did before for a prep of the run, usually it'll pull up a map, but you can actually glitch the map out so the map just doesn't work anymore. And that's what we're doing here. Again, going for all the money possible. So pulling up the GBA, you actually can skip the scares, and that saves about a half a second, depending on what area you do it in. And we got another gold bar. So this was a recent strat, at least back when I started running this. If you suck up that guy first, it's actually going to spawn these next two ghosts much faster than before. And the garbage ghosts, we can just kind of push around. They're big pushovers, if you will. We're going to get this guy here for some extra money. And then get the double. Now that key takes a little bit of time to spawn, so we're gonna just go around collecting as much money as possible. Turn that down a little bit in my headset. So normally you'd want to, all the mirrors will put you back at like at the very beginning that we started. Except for this one, the stairs is actually slower to go down than just walking back here. This is EGAT, he likes to talk a lot, he's very chatty. There's a lot of text in this game, which is why running the Japanese version actually saves you a bunch of time. So here's our first portrait ghost. This is Neville Longbottom. He unfortunately... Oh, okay, alright, well let's try this again. He passed not too long ago. Neville Thornberry is what I should say. There we go. So we really want to one-cycle these guys because they give us these big pearls here. And the big pearls are going to account for almost half of our money going through this. Nigel, thank you. Nigel Thornberry, yes, that's the one. He passed, and he also remarried. Because this is Lydia. A lot of the speed comes from just knowing the puzzles already. And of course, just being fast. Yeah, Neville's the Harry Potter. I got it all mixed up now. Alright, so now we're making it towards the first boss, Twitch chat. You'll see why it's Twitch chat here in a second. Because they just seem to cry. So this is Chauncey. There's just something about baby ghosts that are just absolutely terrifying no matter what you do. So, another thing, skipping text boxes, you want to mash B and A, and the faster you mash, the faster the text box goes. So, there's a lot of text boxes, there's a lot of mashing in this game. I'm not going to be mashing as hard as I could because I really, really like my wrists, and I would rather not destroy them. So this boss is one of the two bosses you have to two-cycle. You can't one-cycle him. The Taz gets him down to under 5 health. There's just no way you can one-cycle this boss. So we're going to stop him right before 50 so he doesn't go into another phase. Here we're going to angle up our thing here, and we're going to just grab the ball, stop him right about there, and we're good. And now we're just gonna hang out over here. He's gonna bounce around, being very angry baby. Now we're only gonna have 2 chairs. If we go under 50, he's gonna give us a 3rd chair, and that's not good because that's just very slow. We're gonna intentionally damage boost, and hopefully we can get the quick ball here. Close. And that's Chauncey. That's area 1. That's the whole area 1 done in about 6 minutes. Now we're gonna go, we gotta go back after every single area. There are 4 areas in the game. After every single one, we're gonna go back to Egad's lab and put them back in the portraits where they escaped from. And we're also gonna see Egad's best Naruto run. These are really nice because it gives you a break in between areas. Kind of hang out, chill, put everything in the washing machine, clean your clothes. Pet your dog, walk your cat. Get a drink of water. What I did. So everything up to this point is pretty non-RNG heavy, but that is all about to change here really fast. So we're always, like, the major encompassing part of this run is booze. Of course, it's a Luigi's Mansion game. There's ghosts. There's got to be booze, right? So the booze in this game are all RNG. Every single one is RNG, and there are 50 of them. 15 of them being the boss itself, but still 35 different instances, which is kind of silly. It's a lot. I'll explain why I'm going and just pointing straight up into the air as well. So, in those hallways, ghosts can spawn, but they only spawn if Luigi isn't looking at them. If Luigi's looking at them, they do not spawn, just like that, and wait until I was behind. So you kind of spin and go through these hallways, which looks really, really funny, to avoid getting scared. So this is the ballroom. This is probably the hardest thing for beginner runners to start getting used to at first, because these doubles, their hitboxes are really strange. Every else's ghosts is like a square hitbox. These guys are triangles. So it really is hard to do at first. And we got an extra gold bar. But no problem, and some extra money here. We get early release for Dave's Marathon? We do not. So they can spawn early, they can spawn their heart right about here. Most of the time it's over here though. Try and make sure we get all the pearls. The little ones don't matter as much as the big ones. There are a lot of gem backups we can get. Now we're gonna go into this room. This is where all the boos have been hiding. Now there's normally a poster that's over the button, but we're gonna skip that poster by simply just sucking it up in this corner. Take that guy, we're gonna set ourselves up for the double here. Little down, and perfect. Now, when all the boos escape, why Luigi doesn't suck up at least one, I'll never know, and it infuriates me every time. We also have a very nice amount of coins. So the boos also have some really awesome stuff. They're all puns. All their names are puns, which I know is Dave's favorite thing. So I have a list in front of me and I'll try my best to say which boo is which. Because I actually really don't know, because most of the time I run this game in Japanese and I just don't, as much as I try and absorb it through the games that I run, it just doesn't work. Now we need to get 5 boos to open up the bathroom. We're gonna just leave Toad crying there forever. Same thing in there. Alright, so the cool thing with the boos and a lot of the strats in this game is to try and skip text as much as possible. And he's far. So that's the worst RNG. We can skip their text boxes by sucking something up at the same exact time you suck up the boo. How nice of him to move back in here. So how you suck up the boos as well, you kind of want to R-pump them every 10 health, and that kind of stun locks them. Otherwise, if you played this game casually, they just kind of run around and do whatever they really feel like. And they're very annoying, so stun locking them, making sure they don't leave the room until you want them to leave the room is great. You can do that for about up to 150 health. They have 15 cackles. Otherwise, they automatically leave the room no matter what. And that can get infuriating at times. Also, some bad RNG spots can lose you 5 seconds. Sometimes it's 20 seconds. So there's just lots of varying degrees of to lose time in this run. See, you gotta try it out. This game is fantastic casually. Every boo, every individual boo, there are 35 different boos in the rooms that you can get. Every boo can lose you up to 5 to 15 seconds, I think, per boo. 5 being the least worst spot, and 15 to 20 being the worst spot. So here we're going to use that mirror warp. We're going to go back to the beginning, because it's faster than running around the hall again. No gold mouse. A gold mouse can spawn there. It's completely random, though. Now here we're going to get our first element, which is going to be fire, just like this marathon is. And we're going to do a save and quit to also skip more text. Like, oh, there's a lot of skipping text here. We're gonna shake him off, lose a little bit of money, but it's faster to do that and get the double here. Alright. We're gonna try and be on this side so we can try and get the boo out at the same time, like that. And what we're gonna do... We're gonna get the boo. We're gonna hold the fire medallion. That means we picked it up. We're gonna save and then reset. And that skips the whole fire medallion text, which is really long. And then we just grab fire here real quick, and now we just need to light some candles for a key. And boop. Kind of want to keep my fire. I want to keep as much as I can because we're gonna need it here. Because this fire is really crucial into skipping taking out the flashlight, which saves about half a second per one you do, which adds up to quite a bit at the end of the run. So now we're going to be doing a ton of things at once. We're going to try and finish a room before this guy gets into the other room and open a mouse hole. That's the butler. He's afraid of fire, which is how he dies, and he doesn't realize he's dead. Poor butler. When you get here, get Mario's hat for later. Well, the lore of this game is that Luigi is dead. So Luigi's dead, and he's really a blight on the living, is what he is. So I don't have time there, so I have to remember to get that hat. He did not. Luigi's actually very scared in this one compared to the newest one that came out, which he's like just a rockin', rootin' tootin' Ghostbuster at that point, slamming ghosts. But he's in the bucket because he's a jerk. Oh, well, that's awkward. We'll leave him be. We'll come back for that boo. You can skip the text by also going through there, the mouse hole at the same time, but I forgot to do the mouse hole. And I forgot this room strat. Alright, so we're just gonna go into the corner here. Welcome to my casual playthrough. You want to get them all at the same time. Losing the mouse hole there kind of really threw me off. You want to do that, and we're going to collect these gems and hope that that's it. Yep. There should be one more gem. Thank you. So there we go. We skipped the text. He seems to have gone right back in here like a good boo. How nice of him. So that's actually not as bad as it could have been, because he could have gone in the hallway, he could have gone into a completely different room that we wouldn't have known, which is really nice. So we're gonna open this chest, gonna give us some gold bars, some dosh. Get the hat we skipped, which I actually forgot about, so I'm really glad it just kind of popped out there. Alright, so poison mushrooms. Poison mushrooms are the worst in this game. Every single spot has a 20% chance of throwing a poison mushroom at you, and you lose 12 seconds no matter what if you get hit by it. Because you can't do anything. You can't open doors, you can't use your vacuum. It's a wash. It's the worst. And in 100%, you open up a lot of spots. Alright, now we're on to melody. We've got to, how do I say this? Knock these instruments to life. And we're gonna go over and talk to her. Yeah, the laundry room boo was Boogie, Peekaboo. And who is this? I think this is Boomio. Because I read perfect Japanese, that's of course the Super Mario World 3 theme. So there's a little RNG in how the ghosts move, and you kind of want to take the same sort of approach. As these, except you're pumping with the control stick instead. That's the fastest way to suck down the portrait ghosts. Alright, now we're going to... I always forget this one's name. I call him Flip Before Diet now. We're gonna suck up his lunch here. Hopefully before... There we go. Before those guys go and refill it, we're gonna collect the bananas and we're gonna leave this room. Again, doing lots of things at once. I'm actually gonna get this mouse instead. Now we're gonna get our second element here. Water. So he's doing his thing. You can't eat that ghost up until he goes through a bunch of different cycles. So that's why we can do this room pretty comfortably. Because he still has one full more cycle. I mean, I did it fast enough. I probably could have got the boo first too. Alright, we're gonna leave that chest because we're gonna come back for it later. So this is where... Boo, you there? You there? Cool, Boo. Thanks. Just constantly adjusting the position, sucking up the Boo. Which one is this? This is Booligan. Good old Booligan. So many puns. There's so many. They did it in the newest one too. Alright. This plant is very, 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 very important. We really, really need to water that plant in each area going forward. Because that's going to account for a quarter of our dosh. This is insta spooky. Now we're on to Bogmire, who is my least favorite boss. You can one cycle him if you're every other runner except for me. I'm really, really bad at this. You get the double on the skellies here. I'm also not healing. There's a full heart right there. But we don't really need to heal. We don't need to heal. Famous last words from a guy who's about to die. You don't need to heal. We are running it, as you can see, a little star in the bottom right corner. We're all running it on Hidden Mansion, which is technically harder, but you also suck things up faster, which is why we run on it. But in the American version, you actually take double damage from ghosts, and in the Japanese version, you do not. Which is funny. Because usually it's the opposite way. So 99.9% of the time, Bogmire always spawns in this spot. We're going to want him to just run into the corner. And there's the one cycle. Cool. Apparently I can do it. Look at that. And that's area 2. A little more mashing of the text. Getting through it. And now we're on to probably my least favorite area in the game. Area 3. It has the worst boss in any game I've ever encountered. It's Boolossus. In my splits, he's named Cholololololololossus. You can either one cycle him and get him done really quickly, or he can sometimes put a boo underneath the stage, or the ice can be in a place that you cannot grab, period. It's fun, as they say. And all of Egad's paintings back, ready to go. Egad's the real monster in this game. We go a little bit more into the lore of it. Man traps souls in paintings forever. When all, never, he just wanted to read a book. Nigel just wanted to read a book. Lydia was just combing her hair. It's all bad. You are truly the monster in this game. Our money is looking actually pretty good because we have a lot of gold bars, which is really good. Coins is pretty negligible. Bills are a little low, so I'm gonna actually grab probably a little safety gem right here. So if we're holding an element, we can actually just fall straight down those stairs. And now we're going to see who's behind it all along. And see our poor, dear, inferior brother in the painting. Yes, it was King Boo in the lion's mouth. I also don't see why he can't just get through that, but... video game logic. So the long, arduous jump straight up this ladder. We're gonna hold out our element again because there's a ghost that spawns on this branch right there. But if you're holding the element, you're not gonna get scared. All right. Perfect, the General Andrews is here because we have the General Andrews ghost right here. He's just lifting, having a good time, but we gotta smack him up a little bit. We've got things to go. I need him in my vacuum. Well, we'll have to get the key in a second. He's lifting. You are very scary. We don't even know how thick his legs are either. So this key is for a shortcut later. I'm really hoping. Yep. This is Beauregard.
Oh yeah.
Apparently. I'm just learning these names for I pulled up the wiki. I was like, there's got to be a list of these names. That was Beauregard. I had no idea. Nintendo thought they were really, really funny. I've been really bad at this shot. And I'm even worse at this shot. Okay. This is awkward because I'm out of water. And the only source of water is all the way back at the fountain. So please excuse me while I backtrack in shame here. For missing the shot. Thank you. There's a door that's on fire up there, and if you put a well-placed shot, not the two shots that I put, very poorly placed, you can actually do it. Because it takes a little bit for that door to be able to go through. But by the time we get up here, the fire is gone, and we can go in. We're gonna hope for... Ah? Alright, that means we can skip the picture one on the back. So that's random mouse. There's a piece of cheese, though, on the other side. That you can get, but if you get that random mouse, you don't have to get it. And now we're gonna get our third and last element. Ice. And of course, he's got to tell us all about it. Thank you, Egad. You're wonderful. You're fantastic.
Yes.
Now we got our Boo in here, which is Mr. Boojangles. Hello, Mr. Boojangles. So the ice does an interesting thing to the Boos, is that it automatically just freezes them in place, which is really, 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 really nice. And we're going to use it to skip a couple chest animations coming up and kind of really start doing lots of things at once. Alright, here's a poor lady taking a shower that we've just got to, you know, put in the vacuum. No big pearls, so we're gonna have to collect a little bit of extra money, because this is what I usually expect to get. We were one away. If you get them down to 10, you get the big pearl. Or we can go for a pearl dupe, hopefully, later. Pearl duping is something I'm just very, 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 very bad at. You touch it. You touch the pearl at the same frame that you suck it up through the vacuum. Okay. As long as we don't miss, that's fine. And this is poor Nana. Nana doing what she loved in life, also in death. Actually a good spot. We could probably dupe that. So,
Mario.
As you can see, the Boo is in the worst spot. He's all the way across the room, and of course, as we get over there, he has moved. Every time they cackle, they move spots, too. It's fantastic. There's no rhyme or reason for when or why they move, either. And that is really actually kind of not good. Hopefully, I think you can only go into these two rooms. Neat. We need all of these. I agree. We were saying that at the very beginning. This is the better brother. Taller, handsomer, bigger nose. Wink, wink. We're gonna take fire. Because we need to light the candles in this next room. Little candle-lit lunch for you, Dave. We've got you right here. This room is pretty straightforward. We just want to get the doubles. Yeah, just a nice cozy summoning circle. You can go for a triple on the last one with a little fire element. Or you can just mess it up completely, which is why I don't normally go for that. So let's get them casual, shall we? All right. All right, so he can be, the Boo can be in either of these two dressers. Thank goodness he's there. That's always the one I check first. Or in any single one of those candles. When I say any of those candles, I mean any single one of those candles. Oh, I really like that. It's very true. That's why I ran Beard Blade for a little bit. We need to do that. I need to do that more. So now we're going to destroy the moon. So goodbye, moon. Everybody wave bye. Say goodbye to your tides. They're all gone now. Good night, moon. That's very true. I always forget that Piccolo does that as well. That he just straight up blows up the moon. I feel like that's just a very glazed over thing in the Dragon Ball universe. Both green, both monsters. It makes sense. It all tracks. So now that key we got in Jen's room earlier gives us a little shortcut here.
Mario.
Now we're going to the projector room. It's time to watch a movie, chat. We're going to do a nice little movie, and we're going to hopefully get the triple here. So here, like, every place is either easier to, you know, quote unquote, side saddle it and open it, or touch it, or use your vacuum. It just depends. So now there's going to be two here. We're going to go down, we're going to get grabbed by this one, and get the double. And now there's three going to spawn. We're going to go up real quickly. Make sure those guys get a nice little kissy kiss in. And we're going to get two. Just two. So no oh baby the triple today.
Mario. Oh yeah.
So if you're wondering why I don't really look at the Boo radar is very deceiving. It's not very good. Sometimes the Boo will be right in front of you in the spot, and the Boo radar will be like, nah, I'm good. So the Boo radar works sometimes and it doesn't work other times. I always assume that it just doesn't work.
Oh yeah.
It works when it wants to work, which is never.
Mario.
So now we've got little Slender Boy, our little pool shark. Also very random, the billiard balls he's gonna hit into the air are gonna go off in different directions, and depending on what direction they go off in, depends on if I get this in one. And if you miss it like that, you don't get any. Come here. Alright. Well, you just miss it completely. My depth perception is very bad. Oh, it still hit him. Somehow. I'll take it. So now we just gotta wait for him to go again. I hit the bank shot. This is bank shot. That's his name. A lot of the ghosts, if you just get them in the corner, they're really, really easy. They only have a couple places to go. I have to scroll down when I open this chest. I don't know what blue this is called.
Oh yeah.
As you can see, money has a mind of its own and how it wants to be thrown. The physics in this game are really interesting, to say the least. That was Boo-Hoo.
Mario.
Good old Boo-Hoo. Alright, so now this is called Chatty Cathy. This is the worst thing that could have probably put in this first game, which is why it's... This kind of sucks. This is now, for the next minute, a bunch of just mashing through text and whatnot. Which is great. It's always fantastic when that happens. So this is Clairvoyant. All those things we picked up, the shoes, the hat. No, I'm behind on a level. I forgot to go back. I needed to go upstairs. Hey, we're gonna talk to her once and we're gonna split up the mashing. We can talk to her one more time because we have 2 items. I swear I've run this game before. I PB'd yesterday. There's just so much to do. Okay. We'll be back. Hello, Toad. Your cries and tears will not be heard today. So we need to go back to Area 1 here, and we need to get the rest of the booze and stuff that were all in this area. We're hoping he's in there. He's not. He's a jerk. He laid a bomb for us. How rude of him.
Mario.
This is why this game sucks sometimes, because he was there. Also, there's some RNG in the text box that EGAD can give you. He can give you a long one, he can give you a really long one, or he can give you a really super short one. He seems to be favoring long ones today. Alright, these are the twins. More child ghosts, absolutely terrifying. This is probably a very point of frustration for people when they played this casually, but here's the trick. If you vacuum it and the box shakes, that's where they are.
Mario. Mario.
They always do favor the long ones. So these are the twins. We can go for a double, but at this point, I'm just playing things safe. Because they only go left to right. Normally with the portrait ghosts, they always go the opposite of each other, except for these two.
Oh yeah.
You hear the double cackles? He's just a little too high, which luckily he has very low health, so it doesn't really matter. But if I were to do and get a double cackle on one that, let's say, has 150 health, that is not great.
Mario.
Back to Lydia's room. Now we get a nice little setup for actually skipping it. The text. We're gonna Pull off the bed sheets just a smidge. Suck them up at the same time, skip the text box altogether, and get us back to Chatty Cathy.
Mario.
All right, we're back, baby. I have the rest of Mario's things. Please tell me. He basically looks at Mario's shoe, his hat, the letter, and tells us that it's Bowser all along. Which of course it is, right? It's gotta be Bowser. It's not like Mario games have unique enemies. We're gonna use Superstar Saga. You did great. Waffle is my favorite little bean guy ever. So Clairvoyant is a little different as well, as you don't want to tap it. You kind of just spin both control sticks back and forth really fast, and that's how hers works. Get our key. Now we gotta go water that plant one more time in this area. It's just the easiest to do this on the way back at the end. Plus, I forgot it if I did it or not the other times I tried to route it in. Pick up our diamond. Diamonds aren't actually worth that much. Now we're looking for the boo. Thank goodness. Alright, so that's all the booze on this floor now.
Mario.
We're gonna open up the fridge, because we're gonna need ice for the next room.
Mario.
Let's see how sharpshooting my skills are today. Very sharp, very sharp. As soon as you hear the little ding, we've got it. We watered the plant. Don't have to go over it to it and do the watering of shame.
Mario.
And now we got a lot of walking. Just a little bit of walking. Not too much. Money's looking good, really good. We got lots of gold bars. Also, a little thing about the soundtrack in this game. This has what's called, I think it's a dynamic soundtrack, where it's basically the same track done with different instruments and in different ways. Like, he'll hum the theme. Sometimes there's just strings. Sometimes there's just like a saxophone section. Like, it's really, really interesting if you ever want to look up how they did the music in this game. Alright, if you ice these little ghosty pals, before they even show up, you can make it so you don't have to wait the couple seconds it is to their heart to show up. Garbage ghosts again, big pushovers. You stay there, Boo. It's okay. I'll come back for you. Yeah, Metro games do it. I really think that's just a very interesting way to do a soundtrack. Plus, the Luigi's Mansion theme is a banger. So here we're gonna switch to Sides Battle mode and do this because it looks funny. So this is Trollosis, or Bulosis. This is the worst boss in the game. Just period. He's all RNG. We try and do a thing where we line them all up. Sometimes they line up perfectly. Sometimes they don't line up at all. Sometimes, like I said, they'll go underneath the stage and borderline soft lock you out. So hopefully that doesn't happen. For some reason, my music is a little bugged as well. That happens as well. As well. So we're gonna make Bulosis run into the unicorn horn, and hopefully the ice is in a good spot, which it is. It can spawn over the rails in a spot where you can't get it. So we're gonna tool our vacuum. We're gonna get a very particular angle right about there. Go here. Sounded good. It was not. So that is probably the worst thing that could have happened. None of them really wanted to line up, but we got enough boos to where they're going to be really aggressive. Which is what we want, because we're hoping for that. Get up, Luigi. Let's try this again. Like I said, worst boss in the video game. There we go. Walk through this chest, get the key, and we're finally out of Area 3. Lots of multitasking when you go from any percent to 100%. Plus we're now gonna get into the most difficult boos in the game. They have 300 health, so you can't one cycle them. And you kind of have to track them, get them through half health, and hope that they go the right way. On to the collection, on to Area 4, where the creepiest ghost in existence is in there, Supi. We'll get to her later, though. Right now, this is my favorite part because I like to call this Luigi walking. This is where Luigi literally traverses the entirety of the whole mansion from one side all the way to the other because the power is going to flip out here. We're gonna have to go switch a breaker. And then of course, get hit with more, you guessed it, RNG. They call the ghost we have to suck up for the basement key Uncle Grimly or Franker Z. Uncle Franker Z. He can show his heart right away, or he can take up to over a minute to show it, and it's really just up to him. Normally, like, it's more rare for him to show it late than it is early. But when you're on pace and he's like, hey, guess how lucky you are today, and you lose a whole minute there, it stings just a little bit. Exactly, Nate. Bald, real nasty ghost. I almost said bald nasty ghost, but bald is beautiful. Bald nasty. So now that the lights are out, ghosts are gonna spawn everywhere. I'm really hoping we don't see a ghost at all, because if you just point to where they spawn, they won't ever scare us or lose us time. Little cheat here, instead of going through the whole mansion, you can just warp back here. No ghosts in this room though, but we can do funny spins up the stairs. So we're just gonna try and take angles to where we're looking at the whole room as we're going through it. And that's why we switched our control scheme. We're gonna switch it back now. Hey, and we got the money. Uncle Grimly was very nice. Now we got our key for the basement. Also a weird thing, when you go through the double doors like that, the left one is a whole second faster to go through than the right one. Why that's a thing, I don't know, but it's true. It's really strange. Yes, yes, Dave. Yes, everybody. If this is your first time ever watching this run, this is probably one of the weirdest runs ever, because there's so many weird little things about it. Okay, now we want him to attack us. Attack us over here. Okay, he can come over here. So 200 health. Normally, I mean, well, I'm probably not going to get it. You can one cycle this if you're a better player than I, because you can kind of get him stuck in the wall. But he's going to leave at 25. This is probably the most dangerous room for like picking up things and getting a poison mushroom, just because there's so many things you trigger here. But so far, so good. Not in there. Yeah, exactly. All right, it sounded like he went back into the basement room. So we're gonna open the door real quick and see if our friend went back into the basement room. And he did not, he went into a different room, cool. So he'll be down, we'll be back. We'll be back down there.
Mario.
You can also launch a fireball to pull out your vacuum faster. It's a little weird on the timing, but it's really neat. There's so many just little tiny things. Like the Japanese version doesn't even really save that much time other than text and then a couple of boo skips. Any boo in a mouse hole, and that's really it. Before you ask, everybody, no, I know it's a burning question. No, me clicking the flashlight does not make Luigi faster. I just get bored sometimes going through these hallways.
Mario.
I had a couple people who thought for the longest time, but never asked. They were like, why do you click the flashlight like that? I was just like, simply, I'm a little bored, that's it. Doesn't really do anything. And they're like, I thought for years you actually were faster because of that. I'm like, no, it's not true. So we can do that for a little extra money. Yeah, exactly. Keeps you preheated, That's exactly how I feel too. It's like warming up. You gotta warm the muscles up. All right, here's the beautiful Lock room. These two rooms also have the two worst boos in the game. They're both 300 health, and we want to get half of them to each room, but we're going to come back for them later. We're going to try and get these guys caught on the chair and in the corner. Now, I only want one at a time. Like I said, getting two portrait ghosts at the same time is very, very hard unless he's at half health. Then you can do it. But they will always, always, always go the opposite direction. I mean, it could have. It could. I did get punched in the face a little bit. So this is... We used to do a really cool thing called the Brunson Burn, where you suck them all up at once. But then somebody was like, hey guys, if you just light them on fire, it's faster. Which it is. Ah, shoot. This way. This way. Alright, now we gotta get this rooftop key. Up here, grab the key. This split in my splits is called How Do I Lose Time Here, because there's no RNG at all, and that somehow I always lose 10 or 15 seconds, and I'm not sure why. We'll be back up to the roof here in a few. The attic here is a test of back and forth. Now we're gonna go search for this boo in this room. And I feel like he's in here. He's not. I have been betrayed. This is the worst one for the radar, because the radar really does not know where the boos are. So what we want to do is we want to really hope this boo goes down. We want to try and trick him into going down. Okay, perfect. That is fine. We'll come back for him later. Because we're going to be going right up there. This is the Armory Room. This room has lag galore. There are a lot of moving parts, as you can see already. This is the laggiest room in the game. We're going to fire that guy. We're going to finish firing him. And we're going to fire that guy. So it gives us time to get this guy up. Go for the double. Skip the scare. I'm gonna open this because I need a little extra money. Big bootray. Bootrail. Alright, now for this guy. He's called Jarvis, I think is what his name is. He's in a jar. It's clever. It's very clever, I'm sure. As you've seen. It's not hit, no. And let's get the ice before we lose the game. So we just gotta hit him with ice 7 times. That's really it. And you can cheat the game doing this. You will run out of ice if you do it a little too much, but that's why I grabbed the other ice thing here. Just in case. Ernest. Oh my goodness. Pretty good. And we hit him 7 times. He's gonna spawn in a random jar. I was about to get sniped by that jar back there. We're gonna hope for some jars. This one also has 200 health, so we want to really, really hope he goes down. If he goes into the hallway, it's not that big of a deal unless he... Well, okay, cool. He goes into the hallway. It's kind of a big deal. So, if I get this perfectly, which it's looking like I'm going to, until I open my big fat mouth,
Mario.
150 is that the peak. It's hard in this room simply because of the lag. And now I'm really hoping that this build goes to the right. Awesome, great. You're a pal. You are a god amongst men. Thank you so very much for your time and your effort, Boo. Because going back those other two doors is just the worst. Oh, he just moved into the other chest over here. Neat. Good job, Boo. So now there's 3 Boos in here. There's 3 Boos. Cool. That's how that other one was supposed to go, except into the other room. So let's see where the game wants to put all these Boos, shall we? I'm gonna guess over here. This is why the Boo radar is just awful.
Mario.
Alright, now we're going back up the elevator. And we're putting our vacuum away without even spinning it. That's how good Luigi is. Unfortunately, it does not skip the text, which is the saddest part. This is the treasure room. This is where we're gonna get the key for, like I said, the creepiest Boo in the game. Those Boos were Boonita, Boolivia, Booscaster, Boripedes, and Booby Hatch. So we're gonna get iframes here. Well, apparently not enough. I was trying to get through his wave attack, but the wave attack just kind of lasts forever. There's lots of extra money in here, so I'm gonna grab a couple of chests here just for the dosh, just in case. If not, this is gonna be the longest 80% run ever. And now we gotta go into the basement again.
Mario.
So when the only thing that resets the Boo's positioning back to their original rooms is if you do a save and quit. So since we didn't do that, that other basement Boo is gonna be most likely in the next room we're gonna be at, which has the slowest Boo in the game. And he has 300 health, and you can actually one-cycle him in this room. I will just ice everybody. Excuse? Can I just have a moment? Apparently not. See, the biggest problem is, as you can see, the scaring. The scaring literally just stuns you for a whole second. This is fine. We're gonna ice this goop. Alright, here's our 300, buddy. So we're gonna keep him going back and forth. If he wants to go back and forth, sometimes he doesn't. And as long as he doesn't go into this room, we're gonna, well, cool. Again, opening my big fat mouth. Sometimes spraying an element at the wall there like deters them from going in that room, but other times like I feel like it just does nothing and they're just like, hey, cool. I know you're doing a marathon right now, but I would really like to rock your whole world by just going wherever I please. That was Bouffant.
Mario.
Because I'm Bouffant. Nice hair, green. Who's your stylist? Try washing that mop. Very nice of him. So this is the key to Winston's room. Apparently they were both in the icicle. Yeah, the screaming for Mario is actually like... Back when I ran this like super consistently, I had a friend who would watch me all the time and he was like, dude, I cannot open doors without hearing Mario. Because you mash A and A is also Luigi saying Mario. So for like 6 months straight, he couldn't open a door without hearing Mario. Mario! This is the worst ghost in the game to one cycle. I still can't do it very consistently because the room is ice, there are icicles falling on you, and he just tugs the ever-loving crap out of you. Alright, so it was in there. Too high. This is also another one that you can one cycle. He's not as hard as the other one because there's not a whole lot of lag here. You just have to really deal with the icy floor. And we're gonna do another little save and quit here. Chico. Select hidden mansion, get back into the mansion. And we gotta water this plant one more time. It's okay, Dave. You should know by now it's your channel. Your opinion doesn't matter here. He is the better brother. Now we love Dave. That's why we all wanted to come together for this marathon. I'm really excited to be included in it. It's been very, very fun. Just watch, hang out, and now run. Oh, I always like you, Dave. There are very few things you could probably do to sully my opinion of you. But definitely liking Saved by the Bell is one of them, so there's at least one ding against you. Alright, so I made a mistake by not grabbing fire. Luckily, fire is in this room. Because we gotta light these candles. And then we gotta burn all these ghosts. Alright. Here comes the... Not only is the room upside down, which I always thought is a very terrifying concept for horror. The room just being upside down. We have to... it's a child ghost. And we have to make her wet the bed. Yeah. Yeah. So she is pretty tough because of the things that get thrown, not necessarily her direction she goes. She's also just very, very difficult to one cycle. There we go. Couldn't get out before the chest spawned. We're low on big pearls, but I'm always low on big pearls when I do this run anyway. Alright. Awesome. He actually went the way that we really wanted him to go. I want that boo in the hallway. Because we're gonna get this boo hopefully quickly. Damn it. Gosh diddly darn it. Alright, now we're gonna get this one down to 50. Get out of here. Alright, now they're both here. And the double. So we only get one text box when we do that. So it skips a whole boo text box. Now one boo left. And we have Van Gogh. This is triple central. This is us finally finding out who was behind it all. Yet Van Gogh. He's painted all the ghosts that have been showing up into this mansion. Hot lore for you. I've had a lot of trouble with the pink ones lately, so I'm really glad I got that. He's gonna get away. Yep. Could not quite pull that off. That's fine. I wasn't in the correct position. This is about where I want to be with all these portrait ghosts here. Also, if you flash a ghost and you're not close enough to it, it automatically disappears. I didn't want you over there anyway. Okay, that's worse, but fine. The garbage ghosts are probably the hardest just because of how much health they have, and their hitboxes are even funkier than the other ones. Alright, Van Gorm. Get in the vacuum. So take this pearl. Alright, he was bad RNG here. This is also a 300 health boo, but it's not even close to the worst because he only goes in and out of this room. He will only ever go in and out of this room, which is a lot nicer because you won't end up chasing him around. So he's gonna drop a gold diamond. I'm gonna try and get him over here. No. So you can push the diamond into you and grab it at the same time and then save and quit here. But since we didn't get that, we have to do another hallway walk of shame down to this to get the same mirror we used in the breaker room. Leave Toad to his own devices. He'll cry it out. He'll be fine. He's been a good boy this whole time, crying. But he'll be okay. We're coming up on the last boss. This is, we're on to Boozer, if you will. So you can't even get into this room unless you have 40 boos. We have 50, so that's good. He'll just kind of come out and laugh at you like King Boo does. Alright, so if you didn't know, there's a gem there, but there's also a gold bar there. And there's money there. So I'm gonna grab all this just to be safe. Luigi got lots of bars, even though we have a lot of gold bars. And of course, we must fight Bowser. So hopefully we can get a 2-cycle. You can actually 1-cycle him. It's extremely difficult though. Definitely not going to go for that. Bowser or King Boo has 500 health. We're going to try and get him down to 250 and then get the other 250. The reason we stop at 250 or just above 200, he goes into a second phase and he moves around a lot. And we just kind of want him to sit there. And we just hide behind this pillar and we wait for a bomb. We're going to go here. We're going to suck up that bomb. As soon as he drops his head, we're going to hit him. Hopefully avoid the fire. And here comes King Boo. We're going to spin in little circles. Avoid the ice. We're gonna be very close. We're gonna be very close. Standing back here immediately makes him throw another bomb. Time will be when I suck up King Boo. It goes all the way into the vacuum. I don't think we're gonna get it. Yeah. Close, very close. Sad. So this is the attack we wanted to avoid. The backwards head Bowser. Bowser's attacks, they're, since I have a little more time here now, his attacks are positional. Oh, okay. Also, if you're really bad at shooting things. So you want to be just the right amount of distance away. And time. And that's Luigi's Mansion 100%. It's not quite over yet. We got to check our money, but that's the run as a whole. Thank you for the GGs, everybody. Nintendo is violent, though, if you really boil it down. I guess this is the point where, you know, you talk about the Discord and stuff like that, and I try and get you to run this game. I'm going to do the exact opposite. Don't run this game. Save yourself the RNG heck fest this is. Don't run this game. There are more fun runs out there. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. The community is very, very fun, though. They're really, really great people in there. If you do want to join the Discord, I know they do either monthly or weekly races. Just don't run the game, though. Just don't do it. It's as simple as that. Play the game casually, yes. It is a great, great casual experience. Speedrunning it will slowly, slowly drain your soul. So for this game to give us an A ranking, or an A or an S ranking, something like that, which is the determining factor for 100% completion on top of all the portrait ghosts, we gotta make sure we have $100 million. 100 million monies. Just like you should throw your money at Dave, do it now. All 23 portrait ghosts. See, 40 million for those 2 gold diamonds. Awesome, we did it. There it is. Luigi's Mansion 100%, everybody. Thank you very much for having me. And we got General Andrews up next. Don't go anywhere. We got Jen. The General Andrews. And thank you so much for having me.